Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. What's going on, y'all? What's happening? Good evening or good morning to you wherever you are at. Watching us here on Bleacher Report. For those that's on YouTube as well, checking us out on YouTube. Shout out to my boy Jacques, my cohort. You know what I mean? He's on vacation right now. So, hey, we about to chop it up here, man. We about to discuss this. Overall, the NFL draft is coming up. We're going to discuss the 2024 draft for the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to do a small mock draft right now, man. Looking at possibly our first three picks, that we could be looking at. There's a lot of prospects out there. There's still a lot of needs for the Titans. Shout out to the Titans and picking up L'Jarius Sneed, the top corner from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome L'Jarius if he's watching the show. Again, that might have changed the dynamics of our draft based on some of the free agents we got. But I'm going to tell you something, man. We got folks. We're ready. Let's get it going. Tennessee Titans, let's do it. So, let's get into it, man. So, for any chat if you have a chat that's out there, man, throw your chat out there as well. We'll pop that up on the screen. Again, shout out to everyone that's watching the show. So, as you all know right now, as far as the Tennessee Titans overall right now, looking at our draft spots here, you look at, the first round that we got pick number 7. We're the 7th pick of the draft. We got round 2 at 38. We do not have a third round pick, but we do have a round 4 at 106. So, normally, for those that watch our show, man, hey, we have our complete mock draft that we do have. For today, we're just going to look at the first 3 picks that we'll have round 1, round 2, and round 4. So let's look at what I have, man, for us for the Tennessee Titans, man, overall for the first pick 7. So we got a poll out there as well, too, as far as what do you all think, what position we should look at in round 1 for pick 7. We got that out there in the poll. So for me, this is what I'm saying, man, in the first round. So for the Tennessee Titans, this is our mock draft. Pick number 7 for the Tennessee Titans. What position I think we should draft? I'm looking again at offensive tackle. My stance has been that the entire time. We still have struggles at offensive line, especially with the tackles. I've been kind of talking receiver as well, too, but the fact that we got Calvin Ridley out there right now, maybe the need is not as much early, but in the first round, pick 7, I'm going offensive lineman. And as well, too, when I look at the offensive line, I'm going to tell y'all who I've been looking at, man. Again, I have been looking at the offensive tackle in Joe Alt, the offensive lineman from Notre Dame. As you all see there, he's 6'8", 322 pounds. His dad's a former NFL tackle as well, so he has the pedigree there. His dad, John Alt, used to play for the Chiefs. I actually remember him playing for the Chiefs. He actually has a brother that actually played in the NHL, too. What I like about Joe Alt, one, is he's young. He's one of the youngest offensive linemen in the draft. Only 20, almost 21 years old, very young. He's very tall, again, 6'8", very powerful at the point of attack. When you look at him as well, too, very productive in his career at Notre Dame. He has very long arms when it comes to the pass rush. He's very fluent. He's tall, but he's not huge. It's the fact that he can't move. He's nimble, and again, very athletic. Those are things that I really like about Joe Alt. And if he's there at pick 7, man, you pick the offensive tackle. You pick Joe Alt at this spot. I think some of the challenges he'll have is because he's so tall, from a bend standpoint, getting at pad level with some of those guys that could come around the corner. I did see that in some struggles in some tape that he's had at Notre Dame. But really looking at that, that's really his only weakness. And when you look at Callahan's father being the offensive line coach, I think he can coach him up. I like Joe Alt here at pick 7. When you look at guys, shout out to KT525, I totally agree. So this is what I'm looking at. Again, we got the poll out there as well, too, as far as who do you all think? Should we go Joe Alt? Should we go Malik Neighbors? And if Joe Alt's not there, should we pick Olu Fashanu from Penn State? Or maybe even the Washington receiver, Roma Dunze? So y'all put that out in the chat. All right, so that's what I'm doing here at pick 7. I want to throw this question out there to you all as well. Should we trade the 7th pick? Should we do that? Looking at this, that poll question is out there as well. If we do trade, should we trade down for more picks? Should we trade up to get a better pick, maybe to 5 to make sure that we get a Joe Alt, or do we stay at 7? For me, what should we do with pick 7? I think we should keep the pick. It's rare to get a top 10 pick every year. The Tennessee Titans have been perennial playoff teams. Over the last few years, not so much, but we've been picking in the 20s for such a long time, and we have struck out in these drafts. So because we are there at 7, you stay at 7, you pick the offensive tackle, you pick your franchise, let's go get it for sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat as well. and everything as well too. So that's what I'm doing at pick 7. I'm picking Joe Alt, the offensive tackle, the talented young offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Now, again, as I mentioned as well too, in round 2, we do have that as well too in round 2. So I got the poll question out there. What position should we draft in round 2? Okay, I'm saying offensive line. If you think something different, put that out there in the chat. When I'm looking at it in round 2, man, either we could probably get a receiver, maybe another offensive lineman, maybe a corner. I mean, we got L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is, that's a huge plus for us. Or should we pick other? You know what I'm saying? So put that out in the chat as well too. We got that is in a poll question. So this is for me in the mock draft as of today. If I'm picking for round 2 for the Tennessee Titans, looking at where we are right now, I'm actually picking a wide receiver in this spot. So in this spot as well too, as far as wide receiver, let me tell you who I'm picking. So the Tennessee Titans would select the talented wide receiver Adonai Mitchell from the University of Texas. Adonai Mitchell lived here in Nashville, went to high school in Nashville. Bring him on home. He actually went to the high school that my daughter and my son went to as well, Cane Ridge High School in nearby Antioch. Come on back home, Adonai Mitchell, the talented receiver from Texas. Used to play at the University of Georgia too, man. You're looking at a guy that's 6'3", ran a 4.3 out there in the 40, man. He really elevated his stock. I'm hoping he's available. He contests passes very well. This guy's a touchdown maker. He had 11 touchdowns last year, man. This guy here, dude is amazing, man. I really like Adonai Mitchell. I think some of the challenges he'll have, he's got to get tougher, from a blocking standpoint. Even some of his jack yards, he doesn't break a lot of tackles. But, man, this guy's got long speed. He's got great size. He got great hands. Jump ball ability is there. Adonai Mitchell is extremely talented. Bring him back home to Nashville, Tennessee. Adonai Mitchell, you would be welcome. Give me Adonai Mitchell here in the mock draft, round 2, Adonai Mitchell. Let's get him. So we got those in the chat as well, man. I saw receiver on edge in the second. I see that ADI's 27. I see Mitchell is maybe a first-round pick. That's to get hooked. So you might be right. But there's a lot of talented receivers, and a lot of teams, they might need a receiver, but not as high as that. We'll see. I see we got Edric Cooper as well, Aiden Hooper. I see that as well too. So looking at this, man, looking at everything that we have here, this is what I'm picking, pick 7. Now, for the second round pick. Now, looking at this as well too, man, looking at the poll, we also have a round 4 pick. Now, round 3, we don't have any in round 3. So right now, when you look at pick 4, we're looking for depth. So what do you all think on that as well? Let me know your thoughts there. I've got the poll question out there as well, man, on round 4. What do you all think? Should we pick a running back? Should we get a defensive tackle? Should we get a safety? Those are positions of need or other. I know we got running backs, but, man, hey, what else should we pick in round 4? I'll put that in the chat on what you think, and I'll pop it up here around 4. We got Monte Bryan saying we need another edge. Okay, I see Daryl Bills for pick 2 in round 2 for Ladd McConkey. So I could see that too. That would be some good picks. So let me tell you what I would pick in round 4, okay? When you look at our defensive line, I think we need depth. We need more players on our team on the defensive line. I like Dwayne Carter, and no reference to Lil Wayne and the Carter 1, 2, and 3, but I like Dwayne Carter here from the University of Duke. This guy here, man, is an energy guy. He can play in our defense very well. This guy's a 6'3", 310-pound defensive tackle, 3-year starter there at Duke. This guy not only can be a pass rusher here, man, but again, he brings a lot of energy. He has he had over 11 tackles for losses in his senior year. This guy, dude, was the leader of the defense for Duke. Duke overperformed. A big reason is because of him. I think he would be available. I think, his 40 time wasn't a fast. He ran about a 4.99 in the 40. So, that might have knocked him down a bit. But to pick a guy like this in the 4th round, when you look at, the fact that the players that we've lost in free agency on the D-line, in particular, Danico Autry, you need that type of guy on the line, man. And so I think a player like a Dwayne Carter, do y'all research on him. This guy here could really bring a lot to the team. So, I'm looking again, looking to build our team with Joe Alt in the 1st round. That's my guy, man. Joe Alt, bring him into Tennessee, man. You got a stalwart at offensive tackle. If we're able to get a receiver in the 2nd round like Adonai Mitchell, man, you bring him through, man. You bring him here to the Tennessee. You bring him back home to Nashville. And I'm looking at Dwayne Carter round 4. He should be available. And if he is, man, hey, you pick that guy up, man. You pick that guy up. So those are the guys that I'm looking at, man, in the first 3 rounds or the first 3 picks for us for Tennessee. Not having a 3rd round pick could really affect us. So that's why this draft has to hit. We have not hit on our drafts. Last year's draft was really good, but prior to that, man, the prior 3 years, our drafts were actually pitiful. So hopefully we get to hit tough here on the draft here for sure. So let's look at some of the chat, man. And, this is a part of the show that I love, man. It's a live chop up. You get to ask those questions, man. So we'll go to another about 5 or 7 minutes, man. You throw a question out there, I'll answer them, man. We'll put it up here as well. So let's look here. So we have Vol till fall. What's going on? We need a linebacker. Hey, I wouldn't be upset at getting a linebacker here as well in the 4th round in particular. I think maybe that's what you're speaking on. An inside linebacker, looking at what we have now with Otis Reese and also now adding the linebacker from the Chargers. They're pretty good ball players, but we do need some more depth because outside of that, that's all we have an inside linebacker. So ADS28 says, I think we're good at running back. I think safety in the interior D-line. I totally agree with that later in the draft. If you don't get a defensive line in the 4th round, look for a safety. We need safeties. There's a lot of free agents out there, but we need some young safeties here for us as well, man. Get them developed and get them right, get them great. And again, Tennessee quietly have one of the best offseasons for sure, man. How many times have we seen us make these type of moves in the last 8 years? It doesn't happen often. Rand is cooking. So shout out to Rand and getting these guys together, man, getting these players in here and things like that. So Monty Bryan, should we trade for another 2nd round pick? If you move down from 7, I wouldn't move further than say 12. And if we got an extra 2nd round pick out of that, I would be fine with that. But man, I really prefer to stay at 7 to get an offensive tackle that we need, and we need that bad. So this is a great question by Aiden Hoover, Travion Sweat from Texas. This guy here, let me tell you this, man. He's the biggest D tackle in the draft. This guy's 6'3", about 365. Kind of reminds me of T.R. Tart, maybe a little bit nastier. I just think he won't be available in round 4. If we had a 3rd round pick, he would be available. I would look for him for sure. Suave XO, Kool-Aid McKinstry, the talented corner from Alabama. He could be available in the 2nd round. I wouldn't be mad if we picked a corner in the 2nd round, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I've seen him in person. I went to an Alabama game early this season when my alma mater, Middle Tennessee, played Alabama. This guy is a playmaker corner. He could be a late 1st round, early 2nd round. If we picked him, I'd be fine with it. But I actually prefer a receiver in the 2nd round because of the fact that D-Hop is in his last year. Nick Westbrook-Akina's in his last year. So after that, you only have Calvin Ridley moving forward. Maybe Traylon Burks, we'll see. But I prefer to have that as well. So we got a Brantley. Do you think they'll go offense, defense heavy, or best playmaker available, similar to last year? 1st round pick, man, even 2nd round, I think we're going offense, man. I think we need some younger guys on the offense. We struggle to score points, one of the worst scoring offenses in the league last year. We need to bring in some offense for sure, man. So these are great questions that you all are throwing. Throw out some questions out there, man. I will answer that over the next few minutes here. Let's see here. Should we draft the safety from Miami? So I know the guy from Miami. Yes, he's about 6'4", 6'5", the safety. He won't be available based on the rounds that we have and the needs that we have. Not having a 3rd round pick, man, it will hurt us. So I don't think he'll be available past the 2nd round. Would like to have him, but right now, not so much. So I appreciate everybody's feedback and everything, man. Listen, this draft is going to be extremely important. We need talent. We need premier positions in offensive tackle for sure. Maybe a corner. I prefer to get a receiver in the 2nd round. I really like Joe Alt. Again, those questions are out there on the poll, man. You guys can put in your vote there. But I really feel this draft is going to be the most important draft that we've had, especially going into it. There's a lot of pressure on Will Levis. We have talent around the field now. So it's on Will Levis to perform, to stay healthy out there, to get better and those things. We got talented running backs. We got talented receivers. We got a talented secondary. We got talented defensive linemen. It's really on the offense to generate points. And do we have enough around him to do that? I really do think so, man. So yeah. So we'll go one more question, man. And then so we have a question from Trey DeFacto. So who should we target? Let me tell you who should we target, man. So Kayvon Wallace is starting safety for us right now. He's a free agent. He hasn't been picked up yet. There's not a guarantee we'll sign him. I really hope we can get Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos. We get a premier safety here, man. Our secondary will be on lock. where I would think that we wouldn't be a playoff team. You get somebody like Justin Simmons on the fact that we got Awuzie and we got L'Jarius Sneed in the defensive secondary. We could be a playoff team next year, man, just like that. It doesn't take long. Get talent. We got the money. Let's get these players in. That's who I would like to target. So listen, that was the final question. I appreciate everybody tuning in to the show as far as our pre-mock draft. Our draft changes could happen at any time from now on to the draft, but that's where we stand right now. If we sign more players and things that could change the dynamics, please check us out, man, as we continue to go on up to the draft. We'll have a full mock draft show on every pick and every round that we have. So if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, check us out, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly as well. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We are in them internet streets. Bleacher Report, thank you again for allowing us to be on the platform. Jacques, what's up, my boy? You know how we do it. Listen, we hope you have a great day, great weekend, great week, whatever. Hey, as we always say around here, man, facts, no paper.